All right, everybody. Welcome again to the Power Hour. My name is JC. I'm gonna I'm gonna be going over some important information today that is, in my opinion, absolutely probably the most important, the most important training to go through. Here's the thing. I've taken account of the team, and there's a lot of new people, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that got started maybe a long time ago, but they're not necessarily new. They're not necessarily seasoned, right? They're still in the new stage of their business. So we have a Word document with all of the links and all of the steps of what must be done to launch your business properly. Okay. Now, I have done a fast start training before, but let's face it, most people, they do not watch a recording, but this will be recorded. The last one was recorded, but this one's going to be a little bit more complete because I'm going to be sharing that link here with you guys. Okay. Before we finish this call, I'm going to be putting it on the groups as well. And, but some of the fundamentals that are required for building a big business, for building a big team, haven't been pushed as much as I would like for them to be. And that's the reason why we're doing this training. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. So I'm going to go through the basic training here. Most of you guys, if you've been involved in direct sales, you've heard some of this stuff before, but it's such a key thing, guys. and we're going to get into it here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to breeze through this information. Okay, guys, identify your why. Why are you doing the business? Okay. In other words, this is also your goals. So why are you doing the business? That is a question that you need to answer, right? And you should have your whys. I'm going to go old school. Here's what you want to do. You want to make sure that your whys, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to go old school. On a blue flashcard in blue ink, write down why you're doing the business. Forget direct sales. Forget power. If you study some of the most successful people in the world, if you study some of the billionaires in the world, they have a couple of books in common. They have a couple of regimens in common. And another thing that they have in common is that they have written down exactly what it is that they want. Now, here's one of the things that'll happen very often when we start to get some results, because there's some people here that are having some incredible results. We start to veer away from some of these fundamentals, right? We're like, I don't need to write them down like I used to before. I'm already making a lot of money. Okay, that may be true, but is everybody in your team making money? No. And you want to be the leader that says, hey, listen, watch me. This is what I just told you right now is one of the keyest things I'm ever going to tell you. If you want to build a team, I want you to write down, watch me. You should always be able to tell your team, hey, Marvin, watch me. Watch what I'm going to do. Hey, Marvin, watch how I'm going to handle this week. Hey, Marvin, watch how many meetings, how much prospecting, how many calls I'm going to do. Watch me. That is because you are a leader that's on the field, that's doing what you are asking of your team. And it starts with you being very specific. For example, most of you guys here are not mentors yet. So here's a question. By when do you want to become mentor? That is a very important question. What is the date? I don't want you to tell me, oh, soon. Oh, in the next 30 days. No. That's not good enough. By when do you want to become mentor? What is the date? Can you, 1 second. So the question is, what is the date that you want to become mentor, right? For some of you guys, maybe mentor is thinking a little bit too far ahead because you're still trying to get your 3 mentor sales. So that's fine. So here's a question. By when can you get your 3 mentor sales done? By when can your 3 mentor sales get done? And it must be written down. It must be specific. Okay. Also have some short-term and long-term whys. And the last point on that is have whys that are for yourself, whys that are for your people. Here was my why when I barely got started. I said, 1 year from now, I want to have a $15,000 per month passive income, whether no mentor sales, no nothing, 15 grand a month, even if I do nothing. And I put exactly March 31st. That was the date that I put. Here's how I wrote it down. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am fill in the blank, making $15,000 a month, whatever that number is for you. I'm so happy and grateful. Now, here's the thing, man. I'm going to give you guys, I know that some of you guys buy into this, and I do as well. And some of you guys may think, listen, man, when I read books and I study some of the billionaires in the world, this is some of the things that they do. And this is very true. Everything is created 2 times. First, it's created in your mind, then it's created in the physical. When I got started with Powur, just like you, there was nobody on my team, it was 1. But I visualized in my mind my customers and my team. I visualized Zoom meetings with a lot of people getting trained. I visualized my first mentor. That happened. And so on and so forth. First, you got to create it in the mind. What are your whys? Write them down, and then they'll be created. This very device that you are watching this on was first created in somebody's mind, then it became true. You guys know that I launched my podcast about 2-3 months ago. That was, I was looking at my notes the other day of when I was trying to figure out what the name for the podcast was going to be. And the list of things that I wanted. I remember one time at the beginning of this year, I recorded here in my home office a video of my office with some of the speakers and mics that I had just bought. And I said, everything is created 2 times, first in the mind, then in the physical. Same thing with your results in your business, okay? Also, next step is this. This is super crucial that most people don't teach this. You have to write down what you're willing to give up in order to achieve these things. Something's got to give. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Okay, that's so simple and so profound. If nothing changes, nothing changes, right? So what is it that you want to give up? Be specific. For me, I say it all the time. Before I started becoming a high performer, I used to go play poker with my buddies a couple times a week. We used to stay up late during the week playing poker. It was a very bad habit. And if you ask me what type of people were those guys I was hanging out with, they were nice guys, but not very motivated. They weren't going anywhere in life. For me, it was easy. I said, don't play no more poker. I used to have a girlfriend. I used to spend too much time with her. I said, I'm going to limit how much time I spend with my girlfriend. And I identified not only what I was willing to give up, but how many hours I was going to dedicate to the business. The poker for me was limiting my association with certain people that weren't going anywhere. And also the ability to wake up earlier so I could be more productive. I personally would feel a little depressed in the mornings when I would wake up super late and all groggy because I was out late playing poker, right? That was a thing for me. For you, it might be whatever it is for you, but you have to write down what you're willing to give up to get these things. The bottom line is this. Here's the thing. If you're willing to dedicate 8 hours, 8 hours per day, 40 hours per week to make your boss rich, why wouldn't you dedicate at least half of that time to making yourself rich? Or maybe not rich, but financially stable, financially where you want to be, right? And then finally, make your list of as many people as possible. There's 2 lists you're going to make. You're going to make the list to contact people, then you're going to make the list of homeowners. Here's the thing though, whether they're homeowners or not, I have a script. Here's how it goes, guys. This is one of the most key things that I did when I launched my business. I'm going to tell you guys what I called and told my people. First of all, I didn't call to sell them. I called to inform them. This worked well for me. This has worked well for a lot of people on my team. People that take it seriously. Want to make your list of everybody that you know. The podcast that is released today at 9 a.m., I interviewed a 7-figure earner. He owns a financial services franchise called The Financial Architects. He mentioned something that is so key. Every time we ask for advice from people, we often get some of the same results. I was very surprised by one of the things that he says. He says, he's in his 40s, right? He said, if I were to give myself advice 20 years earlier, I would have told myself to have a good CRM system. Okay, customer relationship managers, what a CRM stands for. So those of you guys, how many of you guys receive my text messages from a different number, right? That's my CRM. Over almost 300 people. I put the message one time and almost 300 people received that message, okay? Because I have my assistant put all of my contacts from my back office into my CRM. I put one message once, boom, and almost 300 people get that message, okay? That's the way it works. So he says, have a good CRM and put everybody that you've ever known there, how you met them and information like that, because that database is going to be valuable for you in the future. This goes hand in hand with what we're talking about right now with making a list of everybody you know. Here's what I call and tell them. I call them and I say, hey, Marvin, listen, first of all, small talk, blah, blah, blah. Hope the family's well. Okay, then I get into it. Then I say, listen, Marvin, the reason why I'm calling you is because I just got started in the solar industry. I'm very excited about it. And this is what I'm going to do for the next 10 to 15 years. The reason why I'm telling you this is because in case you ever know of anybody that either has questions about solar or anybody that may be interested in going solar, I would appreciate if you keep me in mind. That's it. Notice how I didn't call him asking him if he wanted to buy solar. I didn't call him and asking him if he wanted to make some extra money. None of that. It's not a sales call. That's a very easy call. Here's the thing, write this down. This is one of the truest things you'll ever hear. Even though it's easy, what is easy to do is also easy not to do. And that is a problem. By the way, somebody's asking what kind of CRM I use. I use LionDesk. Go to liondesk.com. Yes. Phenomenal CRM. I could, by the way, I could automatically program my texts and emails to be sent out automatically, right? Throughout the weeks, throughout the months, right? And so, and I put all of my customers in my CRM. So guess what? The CRM reminds me of their anniversary when they bought solar. If I have their date of birth, the CRM reminds me. Guess what? I could have a system where I mail them a Christmas card, a New Year's card, or whatever the case may be, right? These are because I plan on doing 20 personal sales every year minimum. And the reason why it's only 20 is because I'm going to do a lot of mentor sales. Some months I'm going to do 20 mentor sales, right? And so that's the reason why. But see, I'm looking at this for the long term. Long term, here's what I want. I am treating this business as a career path. That's one of the keys to success. If you look at some of the most successful people here in Powur, Mr. Luis Perez, Mr. David Perez, who's just absolutely starting to crush it. Though these two guys, Luis Perez had or still has an alkaline water dealer. He's done very well with that, but he saw the potential with Powur and with this. He put all of his focus here. Mr. David Perez had a home security dealer. He says, JC, I'm closing that down. I'm putting all of my efforts. I'm making a career change. Powur and solar is all I'm going to do from now on. That's what I did. When I signed up a year ago, I made a decision. This is what I'm going to do. You know, if for those of you guys that play poker, it's the all-in move, right? Everything you've got, all your chips, you move them all in to the middle of the table. That is one of the keys. So through a training, you're going to get a bunch of little nuggets. For some of you guys, you already know some of them. For some of you guys, you don't. Even if it's that one thing that you catch, it makes a big difference. So make a list of everybody you know. So now that you made a list of everybody you know, here's what you want to do. Write this down. Time blocking. You want to time block. So let's say, for example, today, from 2 to 3, from 2 to 4, from 5 to 7, whatever the case is, time block where making phone calls and you already have your list. So you already know why you're doing it. You know what you're going to give up. Maybe you have a show that you watch from at 6 p.m. But if you're making calls from 5 to 6, hey, that show could wait. You better have some DVR or TiVo. I don't even know if TiVo still exists, but you know what I'm talking about. And record it if you want, right? But time block. So now when I time block, here's what I do. Remember, if you want to fail, follow the masses. The masses aren't doing this. The masses aren't this serious about their business. Okay. Time blocking. fire away phone calls for that hour or two or whatever designated time, even if it's only 30 minutes. If that's all you've got, that's all you've got. That's cool. But guess what? During that time frame, fire off the phone calls, non-stop firing off phone calls. And here's the thing. Here's another golden nugget about these phone calls. Be unemotionally attached to the outcome. Doesn't matter if they say yes, doesn't matter if they say no. Your job is to call with this script, with your script, and let them know. You cannot control who's going to buy, who's going to be interested, who's not going to be. But what you could control is your activity. Remember, there's two things you can control. I did a podcast episode on this. Your attitudes and your actions. That's all you have control over. Are you going into this business and this day and this week with a positive attitude? See, here's the deal. I went to sleep like at 1 in the morning last night. I never really go to sleep at 1 in the morning anymore. My wife and I were watching a movie that went till, I usually go to sleep by 11 now, okay? But we went to sleep at 1 a.m., maybe 1:30. By the time I brushed my teeth and got in bed, 1:30. To me, that's late, okay? To me, that's late, okay? It didn't used to be before, but now it is. I still wake up at the same time between 6:30 and 7. I don't even need an alarm clock. I don't have an alarm clock. I have an opportunity clock, right? I'm just ready. I'm ready to start the strong. I don't have weeks. I have strongs, right? To me, I don't even call them weeks. I call them strongs, right? I'm ready to go on that is how I look at myself, at my life, and as my business. So come to this training, just like when I make the phone calls, I'm firing off phone calls. I don't make phone calls, I fire off phone calls. I pick up the phone, next, and I'm unemotionally attached to the outcome. Doesn't matter to me. Tell me yes, tell me no, but tell me fast because I gotta go. Now, here's what's gonna happen when you call people. When you call people, here's what's gonna happen. And by the way, I'm gonna tell you what are some of the trainings that you have to go through as well, by the way. I'm gonna tell you what some of the trainings are that you have to go through in your business in order for you to have the results and the proper training, okay? We're gonna get into that here shortly. But when I fire off the phone calls, I could only control my attitude and my actions. Have a great attitude and do the proper actions. That's it. When you call them, some people are going to say, okay, they're going to be dismissive. Oh, cool. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know. If you find that they're a little bit dismissive, move on to the next call. Say, sounds good. Thank you. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hang up. Who's the next person on the list? Hang up. Who's the next person on the list? Anything positive that you get from people, here's what you do. You can lead with the ambassador program. So let's say Ariel tells me, hey, JC, listen, you're doing solar. That's interesting. My wife and I have been thinking about solar, or I'm going to keep that in mind. That's very cool that you're doing that. That's interesting. I'm going to keep that in mind. Sounds good. Ariel, by the way, did you know? Well, I wouldn't say, did you know? Because he doesn't. I would say, by the way, Ariel, my company has a program called the Ambassador Program. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a dime. I can send you a link. You can sign up for free. They don't even ask for credit card information. But anytime that you refer somebody to us that goes solar, the company will pay you $1,000 for that referral. Here's what's going to happen. It's a free enrollment. Everybody, by the way, should have a goal to have 10 ambassadors as soon as possible. Your goal, if you're serious about the business, should be in the next 30 to 60 days to have a minimum of 10 ambassadors on your team. Here's the power about an ambassador. It's kind of like, have you ever thought of a particular car that you wanted? Let's say you wanted a black BMW, for example. My next car is a black BMW, and you're thinking about it. Don't you start seeing those black BMWs everywhere? You do. It just happens. Your ambassadors are going to notice homeowners and people talking about solar a lot more than before. Before it was background noise. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, my friend on Facebook mentioned that they're looking for a solar guy, or my friend on so-and-so just bought a house, or blah, 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 blah. Now they are your ears and eyes for you. So what if you have 5, 10, 50 ambassadors on your team and they're free? But you're not going to get no ambassadors if you don't call anybody. You're not going to get any ambassadors if you're a secret agent. Don't be a solar secret agent. You got to get to the point. You guys hear me say this all the time. You got to get to the point as soon as possible to where 200 people know without a shadow of a doubt that you are in solar. 200 people should know without thinking about it. Who do you know that does solar? Louis, my buddy Louis does solar. Yeah, no question about it. There's people that have been involved with Powur for 6 months, 1 year, and 20 people don't know that you're in solar yet. And you wonder how come you're not getting the results that you want. So I'm laying down the foundation. I'm telling you what's required of you. 200 people, as soon as humanly possible, should know that you do solar. Check this out. Let's say the list that you made was 200 people and you called them. First of all, not all of them are going to answer. Even if you leave a voicemail or a text, not all of them are going to notice it or listen to it. That's number one. Number two, even if you talk to 200 people and told them that you're in the solar industry, not all 200 are going to remember. Does that make sense, guys? So guess what? You got to talk to more people. You should be like the mayor of your city. You go pump gas, you introduce yourself to the guy or girl behind the counter, you give them your business card. Tell them, hey, by the way, I'm in the solar industry. You ever know of anybody that's interested in solar? I pay $1,000 for anybody you send me that goes solar. Who cares? You interact with people all the time. You go to the restaurant, you like the waiter, they gave you good service. Let them know that they gave you good service and let them know, hey, if you're ever looking for a way to make more money, here's my card, we're hiring. Right? But guess what? The question is, do you have your business cards? Do you have the business cards with you? See, how hard is it to get business cards? It's not hard, right? It's actually easy, but it's easier not to make them. It's easier not to have them with you. It's easier not to, that's why it's not that hard to make it happen in this business. Nobody's really trying. Okay, let's keep it moving. Okay, homeowners and Powur partners. Homeowners, make a list of at least 10 homeowners ASAP. Make a Powur partners, make a list of as many people as you know. You're going to call them all the same. That is the approach that I took. There are some specific, I'll give you a specific homeowners approach, right? Let's say I'm calling my friend Louis and he's a homeowner, right? I would give him a call and I would say something like this. After the small talk, then I would say, hey, Louis, listen, the reason why I'm calling you is this, bro. I just got started in the solar industry. Okay, I'm very excited and I'm going through the training right now. Now, part of my training is to get 10 homeowners electric bills so I could design a proposal for them. Okay, so I have to do 10 by the end of the week. Could you help me out, Louis? Right? Just so I could design a proposal. There's no obligation or anything like that. You know, you don't have to buy anything, but I do need to get 10 homeowners proposals, utility bills, so I can go ahead and create a solar savings report. Would that be okay? How many of you guys can do that? Anybody can do that. So if you want to lean heavy on the homeowners and to get proposals for them, but see, now that you got a proposal, now once, let's say they give you the bill, you request a proposal, now you have it. Now you can call the homeowner and guess what? Schedule an appointment to present it to them. Say, hey, listen, I just wanted to thank you for giving me the bill. I was able to generate a proposal. And by the way, looking at this proposal, brother, I was wondering if you have 15 minutes of your time. I would love to show it to you because it's saving you a ton of money with nothing out of pocket, right? Now, if they say no, let's say, for example, they just are not budging, say, no problem. Here's what I'll do, bro. I'm going to email it to you. If you like it, you contact me, right? But it's saving you X amount of money over X amount of time. And, you know, if you want to tell them how much you're saving them monthly, you can tell them that as well. But it's once you have the solar savings report, the proposal, it isn't that hard to get the appointment. And if it is, work with your mentor, right? So they can help you get it to that point. And nowadays we meet via Zoom for the most part. It's not that hard. Let me tell you guys how I've closed deals before. I've literally closed deals with homeowners that gave me a bill, but never gave me the appointment. After much follow-up and not getting anywhere, here's what happens. After much doing that, I ended up recording, like we're recording here, a little mini presentation with the slides that we use and the proposal. 7 minutes. I just breezed through, probably about 10 minutes. I breezed through the information and I get to their, their proposal. And I make it an unlisted YouTube link, unlisted. So nobody can see it unless they have the link. And I email it to them. and I text them, hey, I just emailed you your proposal along with a short video that explains it. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. You're saving a ton of money. That's it. Now it's an unlisted link. It's got 0 views. So if I check back later tomorrow, sometime in the future, and it's all of a sudden got 1 or 2 views, guess what? The only person that could have viewed it was them, because they're the only ones that have the link. So I sent that to a lady, was not really responding to me. The next day, the video had 4 views. I followed up with her again. Guess what she says? Can you come to my house to present to my husband and I and our son? I said, sure thing. I show up to their house, present to them, got the deal. Deal's been installed already. We did a roof, and we did the solar, about a $6,000–7,000 commission. That was from somebody, by the way, I met her door knocking. I knocked on her door, got her bill, got a picture of the electric, but she never gave me the appointment. Tenacious, tenacity. The fortune is in the follow-up. So here's a list. You should take a picture of this. This is a memory jogger. Who are your aunts? Who's your best friend? Who's your best man? Who's your banker? How many entrepreneurs do you know? Write those people down. Who does your taxes? Who do you know as a painter? Who do you know as a plumber? This is a good memory jogger for when you have a memory jogger is very important for when you're serious about making a long list of people. You got a long list of people that you want to make, write them down. If anything, some of these people are going to serve you as practice and getting outside of your comfort zone. That's great. That's okay. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Okay. So here's a to-do list. If you have a home, upgrade your home to solar. Create a business plan with your support team. Complete your, it used to be called the LMS course. When you sign up, there's about a 2-hour training that you must take. You got to complete that. That's the very first thing you got to do. Start your top 10 homeowners list. Okay. We also talked, we talked about this already. Attend your first 5 online Powur events. So here's the deal. Today, 5 o'clock is the company's Powur hour. If you have any guest every Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you want to get on that event. Okay. And you want to make sure that you have any guest on there, right? And take copious notes. Commit to your first three proposals and your first 3 partners and get connected to Powur Calendar. If you don't know about Powur Calendar yet, you got to get on powurcalendar.com, especially for those of you guys that are new. There's something called the onboarding training. The onboarding training, guys, happens every week. Okay. I haven't been on it in a long time. Everybody that's new, you should get on at least 10 onboarding trainings with the company. Go to powurcalendar.com and you'll find them there. Okay, let's wrap this up. Okay, keep it simple, guys. Here's a system. Get the interest, get the bill, get the appointment. You want to get good at getting the interest. Maybe even if you're door knocking, if you're doing the new homeowner list, or if you're doing it through your warm market, your goal is to get the interest of the homeowner. Once you get the interest, get the bill. Once you get the bill, we're able to request for the proposal, but now you're able to set an appointment because now we got the proposal, or we can get the proposal, right? So now that you set the appointment, let the mentor do the presentation for you. It's not that hard. Trust me when I tell you, there's a lot of people that come on to the business. They overcomplicate stuff. They want to know everything before they do anything. It's called paralysis by analysis. Don't do that. Get good at these 3 things. KISS is an acronym. Says keep it super simple. Okay? Or keep it simple, stupid. Whichever one you want. I prefer the first one, right? It's nicer. Get the interest, get the bill, get the appointment, right? Here's a couple of ways to get leads: warm market, social media, door knocking, new homeowner list, ambassador referrals, and BNI. If you ask me, how did I get started? Which, by the way, I don't know why in the world that thing says, because it was supposed to say something else. Anyways, one of them is misspelled. So ways is misspelled. It's because it said something else and I forgot to delete it again. Anyways, if you ask me when I got started, I started door knocking, doing the new homeowner list. Knocking on strangers' doors is how I got my very first couple of deals. If we didn't have the platform that we would do right now and I wanted to sell solar, I would do it by knocking on doors, new homeowner list, ambassadors, and BNI. And of course, social media as well. Everything that's on this list. But to me, the bread and butter, let's say you got somebody that says, JC, I'm serious about the business. I'm going to make this a career path. I want this to work for me. What's the best thing that I could do to get business? I would say door knock. BNI is great, but BNI takes time. BNI, you want to join BNI when you have the mindset of this is your career. You may go to BNI for a year before you get a referral. I'm telling you right now. But if you are consistent with BNI, your second year will probably be a very good year. That networking is in addition to everything else. But you want to know the fastest way for you to get some business? Knocking on people's doors. That is whether that's traditional door knocking or that's a new homeowner list. And I have a training on the new homeowner list, okay? So with that being said, let me stop sharing my screen. I'm going to share one more screen with the list of the things that I want us to do. Give me a second, guys. Let me pull this up. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to share this on the groups. 1 second. Okay. 6 steps for success. You want to pass the initial university training. Okay. Watch an onboarding video. Recorded one. Watch recorded one here. Okay. You also see it on Powur Calendar. Here's a video, okay? Step 3, watch these 3 videos. Welcome steps to success, submitting and qualifying a lead, setting an appointment. It's all laid out for you. This is all laid out for you. This is what I want for us to be producing as a team. Now, one of the things that I'm going to start working on this week, I'm going to start working on a simple website with like the first module of videos. You're brand new, here's the first 3 videos you watch, right? Here's a second batch, here's a third batch, here's a 4th batch, right? And it'll have the titles there. That way we're gonna just send them, like, let's say powertrain.com or something like that, right? But the point is, we're gonna get this thing on a website. Okay, guys? Give me a second, let me send this guy a voicemail, okay? Send this 5-minute video to homeowners to get a proposal, right? Guess what? You have to make your list of homeowners before you send this video to them, right? And then step 4, close your first 3 deals. 1 mentor deal for your solar pro, right? See Powur header list for mentors. Click here for the mentors. Build a team and invite other people. Sell 5 deals on your own and take your test to become a mentor. It's all laid out for here, right? The only other thing that I would add is this. Hey guys, here's the thing, and here's the schedule. By the way, if you're serious about your business, these 2 trainings should be on your calendar on repeat. Every Monday at 9 a.m. with myself, here's a link, and every Tuesday at 10 a.m. with Jonathan Brunasso. They should be on your calendar automatically. If you work during that time, that's okay. All these videos are recorded. All you got to just ask for them. Okay, guys? So anyways, all of these are here. How many of you guys have seen this before? Show me your hands if you've seen it. Okay, some of you guys haven't. Good. We need to start sharing this with the team. More people need to see this. A lot of times people come in and they fall through the cracks. That's why this training today, we had to do it again. We had to do it again so we could, look, if you want your swag, you got Anthony Bonilla's number here, his contact info, right? We've got this document here has a lot of value, guys. So anyways, let me stop sharing the screen. Okay, cool. I wanted to, oh, good. I thought I went longer than 40 minutes. I'm glad it's only 40 minutes. And notice, by the way, my voice is still not 100%. That's why I'm not talking as loud as I usually do. It's crazy. Ever since I got chronic laryngitis, I'm not the same. So hopefully it continues to improve. All right, guys, does anybody here have any questions? I'm going to stop the recording. And does anybody here have any questions that we can help you before we close out this training?